بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم الحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على سيدنا ونبينا أبي القاسم المصطفى محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين لا سيما بقية الله في الأرضين عجل الله تعالى فرجه الشريف وجعلنا من أعوانه وأنصاره اللهم أخرجني من ظلمات الوهم وأكرمني بنور الفهم اللهم افتح علينا أبواب رحمتك وانشر علينا خزائن علومك برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. Seeking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's guidance and assistance, we continue our discussion about the reality of patience. بيان حقيقة الصبر ومعناه. What is the reality of patience and what's the meaning of patience? Based on Mahajjatul Bayda, volume 7, we reached end of page 109. We said that in animals we have only appetites and shahawat, and in angels we don't have shahawat, we only have desire for closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and nearness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They don't need to resist against temptations or lower desires. Then we wanted to explain the situation of human beings. So he says, Ammal insan. This is third line of page 110. أما الإنسان فإنه خلق في ابتداء الصبي ناقصا. Human beings in the beginning, when they are little child, they are very incomplete. And it says at that time it's like bahima, it's like animals. لم يخلق فيه إلا شهوة القضاء. There is only desire for eating. You see, a child doesn't have any desire except for eating. Maybe a sign of it is whatever you give to the child puts in the mouth. Yeah? So it's the main thing for a child. And this is, of course, in a sense good because this is the way to survive. But also it's a sign of imperfection because there is nothing else that matters to a child. So there is nothing wrong in the creation of the child, but we have to know that's not the state that we should be aiming at or remaining in. After some time, when we grow, ثم تظهر فيه شهوة اللعب والزينة. After some time, there is desire for playing and beautification. The Quran says, أنما الحياة الدنيا لعب ولهو وزينة وتفاخر بينكم وتكاثر في الأموال والأولاد. Some ulama have said, like here, we have also other ulama say that this refers to different stages of life. For example, Sheikh Bahai says, these are different stages of life. After we have a little understanding, we are not talking about a newborn baby. After some time, then the main thing becomes, in addition to eating and drinking, la'b, games and playing. For a very young child, playing is the main thing. Game is the main thing. And they want to play As soon as they wake up till they go to bed, they want to play. Yeah? They have no sense of, becoming tired or saying that, we have to do other things, we have other priorities. Game after game, play after play. Then after that is lahw. And lahw is different than playing. Lahw is like amusement, something that keeps you busy and makes you unable to forget serious things. Yeah? For example, you start, I don't know, either watching some movies, you are not playing or anything, that you're watching, or for example, feeling puzzles and these type of things. So, or sometimes can be dancing or singing. So this is lahw. It's a stage after la'b. Yeah? Of course, la'b can remain, like food and eating, which remains with those who are in la'b. But then when you go to the next stage, then something else becomes important, and that is lahw. Then after that, zina. When you are a teenager or young adult, it's very important to look beautiful. Your hairdressing, your dress, your shoes, cosmetics maybe. So they become very important. Zina. And unfortunately at that time, people think zina is only external. They don't think of the beauty of inside, they think of beauty of outside. Because that's what people can see. So then after some time, you are late 20s, 30s, then it's the time of tafakhur. Tafakhurun bainakum. Then you start counting your achievements. I have very good, degree from very good university. I have well-paid job. I have married someone that I loved. I have very good car. I have, good home. So you start mentioning your achievements. Then takathurun. Takathur. After that, when you are late 30s and then 40s, then you start counting your achievements and saying to others that I have more. So you say, I have, mashallah, 2 houses. The other one says, alhamdulillah, I have 3 houses. You say, I have 4 children. He says, I have 6 children. So this is takathur. And sometimes even they may start lying because they think it's a game. Just you have to win the game. Reality is not important. This is the problem. So in human beings, we have different stages, and if we are not careful, and if we don't have our own priorities set up properly, we can be drowned in these issues. And your main concern becomes how to present yourself, how to say to others that you are more successful than others, and things like this. So, he says, ثُمَّ تَظْهَرُ فِيهِ شَهْوَةُ اللَّعْبِ وَالزِّينَةِ. He doesn't mention lahw. Perhaps he includes lahw in la'b. After the appetite for eating, then would be appetite for playing and zina, adornment. ثُمَّ شَهْوَةُ النِّكَاحِ. Then appetite for marriage. وَلَيْسَ لَهُ قُوَّةُ الصَّبْرِ الْبَتَةَ. And has no patience. Patience in most of the time is something that you have to work for it. It doesn't come automatically or free of charge. Yeah, you have to work for it. What is sabr? Then from here he starts describing sabr as entering into a battle. There are junud al-shahwa. There are soldiers, an army for appetites, and then you need to have your own army prepared so that you don't lose this battle. إذا الصبر عبارة عن ثبات جند في مقابل جند آخر. Patience means that one army has to remain persistent and strong against another army. قام القتال بينهما. There is a fight going on between these two armies. So don't take it simple and easy. It's a very serious thing. It's a matter of fight. Some of you may remember we had this discussion that one of the ways spirituality is described in Islam is an internal battle. Yeah? And it's called Jihad Akbar because internal fight going on. We talked about this in the course on spirituality. So, قام القتال بينهما لتضاد مقتضاهما ومطالبهما, because what each of them wants is quite opposite to the other one. وليس في الصبي إلا جند الهوى. In a child, as I said, you don't have automatically sabr. In a child, you have the army of shahawat, the whims, the temptations, the lower desires. كما في البهائم. ولكن الله تعالى بفضله وسعة جوده أكرم بني آدم ورفع درجتهم عن درجة البهائم فوكل به عند كمال شخصه بمقاربة البلوغ ملكين. But Allah honors human beings by giving them or commissioning two angels when they reach bulugh. So when you reach the age of understanding and responsibility, Allah would give you two angels to help you. أحدهما يهديه والآخر يقويه. One angel is responsible for guiding you, inspiring you, bringing good ideas to your mind. It's not that Allah leaves everything for Satan and satanic people, leaves you without help and support. Yes? Allah also would support us so that we can resist against satanic temptations. So there are two angels, one for hidayah, for guidance, one for taqwiyah, for strengthening you, empowering you. فَتَمَيَّزَ بِمَعُونَةِ الْمَلَكَيْنِ عَنِ الْبَهَائِمِ. Then, with the help of these two angels, human beings become different, distinct from animals. Of course, we emphasize on aql as well, but he talks more about angels. I'm not denying angels, but I'm saying it's not only that we are like animals and then we have two angels. We have also internally the source of guidance. And I don't think he denies that, but he didn't stress on it. واختص بصفتين إحداهما معرفة الله تعالى ومعرفة رسوله ومعرفة المصالح المتعلقة بالعواقب. Then you would be able to have proper understanding of Allah and the Messenger, and also about worldly things or your life. You would be able to understand what interests can be achieved and how to achieve them, what leads to the good things, what are the courses of affairs that are useful for you. And this comes from the one which is responsible for hidayah, for guidance, for giving you ma'rifah. فَالْبَهِيمَةُ لَا مَعْرِفَةَ لَهَا. Animals don't have ma'rifah. And this is very important, we had this discussion in the first year, that whatever makes us distinct from animals is actually what makes us a human being. Because what we share with animals is not making us a human being. What is exclusive to us makes us human being. You remember we had a long discussion about this. And we said, philosophers say, حَقِيقَةُ الشَّيْء بِفَصْلِهِ الْأَخِيرِ. The reality of every mahiyya is made by its last differentia. So if we are haywan and natiq is the main thing for making a human being. Although haywaniya is part of us, but haywaniya would not be only in us. Haywaniya is also in horses, in monkeys, and elephants. Yeah? So what makes us separate is what is only available in us. This ma'rifah is only available in us and not in animals. So, al-bahimatu la ma'rifata laha. Animals don't have ma'rifah, and also they don't have guidance for understanding their masalih, their interests. بل إلى مقتضى شهواتها في الحال فقط. Animals can only understand by their instinct what would give them pleasure and satisfaction right now. Yeah? You may say, what about, for example, some practices in animals or insects that seem to suggest that they think about future. For example, you may say, if you look at ants, they keep collecting food for future. So would this contradict what we say that animals don't think about future? What's the answer?
Instinct. Animals work by instinct.
Yes. So, an ant does not understand future. So, if you ask an ant why you are saving this food, he would not say, I am saving this food for winter because in winter we may not have food. He's just doing this automatically by instinct. Yeah? Or maybe actually they enjoy doing this. Maybe they do it as a kind of pleasure, just to collect food. Maybe they like this. As some people who enjoy collecting money and not using money. So maybe they have also the same thing. So there is no concern about future in animals. So he says, Al-bahimatu la ma'rifata laha wa la hidayata ila maslahat al-awaqib. He's not thinking about what good things in future can come if you go this line. بل إلى مقتضى شهواتها في الحال فقط. They are only thinking about what gives them pleasure right now. فلذلك لا تطلب إلا اللذيذ. Therefore, animals only go for something which gives them pleasure, something which is delicious. أما الدواء النافع. مع كونه مضرا في الحال فلا تطلبه ولا تعرفه. If there is a medicine which is bitter, so right now is not enjoyable, but helps you for your health in future, animals don't appreciate. Yeah? Animals say, we don't want bitter medicine. And you see, in human beings also, there are people that if a medicine is bitter, they never take it. They say it has to be good in taste. Because they go just by quick pleasure. Yes? فصار الإنسان بنور الهداية يعرف أن اتباع الشهوات له مغبات مكروهة في العاقبة. With the help and blessings of Allah, thanks to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, human beings are able to understand that if you just follow your desires, if you just follow your wishes and your whims, you would have to face bad consequences in future. And you will lose many good things in future if you just go by your desires. But this Maʿrifah is not enough if there is no also power to resist against these desires. لكن لم تكن هذه الهداية كافية ما لم تكن له قدرة على ترك ما هو مضر. If he has no power to refrain from what is harmful, this is not enough. You know, but you cannot stop it. You may say, if I know, it would be enough. How can I know something is harmful and still I am not able to stop? He says it's very common. For example, you know that illness is harmful, but are you able to stop your illness? So just understanding something is harmful is not enough. You need understanding and you need also power to change, power to resist. كم من مضر يعرفه الإنسان كالمرض الناذل به مثلا ولكن لا قدرة له على دفعه. There are many bad things that happen to us. We know they are bad. We know that they have happened to us, but we are not able to do anything. فافتقر إلى قدرة وقوة. Therefore, human beings, in addition to Maʿrifah, they need power. With that power, they can kill shahawat. They can do nahr, slaughter shahawat. فَوَكَّلَ اللَّهُ تَعَالَى بِهِ مَلَكًا آخَرَ. This is why Allah gives two angels. One is responsible for hidayah, to give us Maʿrifah about what are useful or harmful for us. Another angel is responsible for giving us power, strengthening and empowering us. يُسَدِّدُهُ وَيُؤَيِّدُهُ وَيُقَوِّيهُ. But the angel would not only help you by himself or itself only. Also there would be other helpers. بِجُنُودٍ لَمْ تَرَوْهَا. There would be soldiers that you would not be able to see, but under the command of that angel, they would also help you. In the same way that shahawat have also soldiers. I don't know if you are familiar with the hadith of Junud al-Aql, Junud al-Jahl in Usul al-Kafi. Yes.
Yeah, that was my question going to be that how can we relate that hadith with these conditions?
It's the main idea is similar, but different way of explaining it. So that is more about the virtues inside us, opposite to the wishes, characteristics. Here makes one internal, the other one external.
Sometimes, especially when you're speaking to the general public, and we use this example that these Junudul Aql and Junudul Jahl, 75 of them. So we can use like it's a kind of software within a computer. but you have to open up these files, for example, Sakhawat, Shujat, these kind of things. So you have to access into it. These things are built in within a human being.
So you can say, for example, these are like tools, like weapons, instruments that you have to acquire them and utilize them. Acquire them and utilize them. Yes. So, sometimes in this battle between two armies, يضعف هذا الجند بقتال جنود الشهوة وتارة يقوى. Sometimes you feel you are overpowered by the other side. You become loser. Sometimes with the assistance and help of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you win. So he says, تارة يضعف هذا الجند بقتال جنود الشهوة وتارة يقوى وذلك بحسب إمداد الله عبده بالتأييد. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala comes to assist you by ta'yid. Ta'yid here is a matter of giving you a strength. Allah says in the Quran to Jesus, إِذْ أَيَّدْتُكَ بِرُوحِ الْقُدُسِ. Doesn't say عَلَّمْتُكَ or هَدَيْتُكَ. So it's not just a matter of guidance or inspiration. It's a matter of power. أَيَّدْتُكَ. Ta'id means like giving you a hand, giving you power. Okay? كما أن نور الهداية أيضا يختلف في الخلق اختلافا. Also, the light of guidance in people is different. It's not the same level of strength in everyone. So, he says, this quality that makes human beings different from animals, makes them able to fight against shahawat, we call it ba'ithan diniyan, religious motivation, religious motive. Mutalabatu shahawat, it's ba'ithul hawa, is the desires motive. So we have ba'ith dini, the one that wants to take us towards religion and faith, and the one who wants to take us towards shahawat. So ليفهم أن القتال قائم بين باعث الدين وباعث الهوى والحرب بينهما سجال. The fight is very severe and fierce. It's a very difficult fight. Where does this battle take place? Pardon? In heart. Of course, mind is also involved, but the main battle is in the heart. معركة هذا القتال قلب العبد. In the heart of the servant, this battle takes place. If the heart was 100%, free, then was good. The problem is that the battle is over the heart. Yeah? It's like, for example, if a country is invaded or there's fight with enemies in a country, if it is on borders, it's bad, but it's still manageable. But if the fight is in the capital and not the outskirts, in the main location in the capital is fight. So, unfortunately, this fight in us is in our heart. Yeah? So, if you are not careful, they can take over. So, the motive for religion is helped by angels, and he calls these angels an-nasirina li hizbillah. These are the angels who are helpers of the party of Allah. Because we have party of Allah, party of truth, party of light, we have party of shaitan and falsehood and darkness. So these angels are responsible to help every person and also responsible to help overall, resistance against shaitan and fight against shaitan. Yes? Because the fight and the battle that we have between the two parties is not separate from individuals. Yeah? And those who help Ba'ith al-Shahwa, they are angels which are nasirina li'a'da'illah. They are helpers of the enemies, Satans which are helpers of the enemies of Allah. So what is sabr? Now, based on this, what is patience? Patience is persistence of the motive of religion against the motive for shahawat. If Ba'ithuddin, the one that pushes you towards faith, is strong and intact and can defeat the other one, فَقَدْ نَصَرَ حِزْبُ اللَّهِ وَالْتَحَقَ بِالصَّابِرِينَ. So then you can be victorious and you will be entering into the group or the community of the Sabirin. But in takhadhala wa dha'ufa, if he is weak and shows weakness, then shahwa will defeat and he would lose the patience. So would be joining the party of shaitan and followers of shaitan. So now let's analyze the process. فَإِذَنْ تَرْكُ الْأَفْعَالِ الْمُشْتَهَاتِ عَمَلٌ. There are acts that give you satisfaction, instant satisfaction, gives you some pleasure, not real pleasure, materialistic pleasure. How can you stop doing those actions? You need sabr. So he says, تَرْكُ الْأَفْعَالِ الْمُشْتَهَاتِ عَمَلٌ. Not going after those actions that you like, not to do things that you like, not to eat things that you enjoy, not to drink things that you enjoy, not to watch things that you enjoy. Okay, this action. But what gives chance to these actions to happen? Amalun yuthmiruhu halun. This is a condition that must be in you which bears fruits of those truk, those tark, not to do those things that gives you instant satisfaction. So you need sabr, and sabr leads to those actions. So sabr is a condition, and those turuk, those not doing those things, bad things, are the fruits. But how sabr itself comes? It comes through Maʿrifah. So Maʿrifah leads to sabr, and sabr leads to refraining from those bad actions. So now the role of Maʿrifah becomes very important. ثبات باعث الدين حال تثمرها المعرفة. Maʿrifah gives the fruit of sabr, the fruit of being intact and persistent. Maʿrifah about what? What should I know? المعرفة بعداوة الشهوات ومضادتها. You must know that these shahawat are your enemies and you have to fight against your enemies. And also you must know what are the opposite to these shahawat that can give you happiness and sa'adah. Yeah? It's not just enough not to go after shahawat. you have to do something also opposite to shahawat, you know. You have to qualify for virtues. فإذا غبي يقينه أعني المعرفة التي تسمى إيمانا. When you have certainty, you have a strong understanding, you have iman, then this gives you power. You must be sure, you must be certain that shahwa is aduwan qati'an li tariqillah. Shahwa is an enemy that is qati'ut tariq. You know, in the past, when people used to travel, there were thieves that were attacking them between cities. Yeah, so for example, there was a desert, there was a place which was not inhabited by people. So there were people who were hiding themselves during the day, and in the night, for example, they were attacking. So these are called qutta'ut tariq. We say rahzan in Farsi. Means they only attack travelers. These are different from the thieves in the city. Those who are in the city are different types of thieves. These are the thieves for travelers.
An expert.
Yes. So he says you must know that shahwa is a thief that blocks the way for traveler towards God. This is very important. Unfortunately, we make this common mistake that we think as long as we don't do haram, it's enough. I'm not talking about the people who do haram. That's obvious. But even if you don't do haram, but you keep just going after lazza, you always want to have the best food, the most delicious food, a variety of food, the most expensive car, the most expensive perfume, the most expensive, dress. Either you have it or you desire to have. Even desire for having these things can be problematic. And say, I am not doing haram. It's my own money. I have paid my homes also, and all the wajibat. This is still a problem, because this is first of all taking your energy, secondly depriving you of lots of opportunities that you could have benefited from if you were not going after these things. You could have used this money and time for most important things in your life. But maybe more than all other things is that a person who is always after comfort and convenience becomes weak. If you are lazy and dependent on these things, you will not be able to succeed in your journey. You have to be strong. And a strength would not come by having everything immediately as soon as you like. One of the great benefits of the months of Ramadan is that at least in 1 month we learn how to strengthen our willpower and determination. At least in 1 month we feel strong. We feel powerful because we are able to say no, even to halal things. My fridge is full of fruits and food which are halal. They are halal because it's my own money, and also they are halal ingredients. But I say no. I don't eat as soon as I like. I eat when I am supposed to eat. So this is a practice that we gain control over our desires for the rest of the year. Unfortunately, in the months of Ramadan, in the night we redo what we have done during the days. So I get a little, power during the day. Then in the night I finish. I go after shahawat, doing lots of eating and drinking and, socializing and even, sometimes going to places for, shisha or whatever, all the night. So the night of Ramadan becomes like a special night for enjoying ourselves. At least the night of Ramadan should be normal nights. If it's not spent in dua and munajat and salih rahim and helping people, at least should be like normal night, not luxurious nights. Not the night that we eat more than other nights and we talk more than other nights. So, if we do it in the way that we are supposed to do it, in the day we become very strong, in the night a little rest, not redoing, just a little rest. Eat reasonably, have rest reasonably, but keep the journey. So after 1 month, inshallah, we become very strong. And then if we keep, doing this every year, and also between Ramadan and next Ramadan, we try to keep it as much as possible, then little by little we become very strong.
Sheikh, I was under the impression that only things which are haram are called shahawat. But here even things which are halal are called shahawat.
Yes, exactly. This is what I'm saying. This is a mistake to think that only we have to avoid haram. I can't, like for example in your health, is it enough just not to eat poison? Someone says, I don't eat poison, that's enough. Haram is poison. We say, yes, don't eat poison, but also don't eat too much sweets. Don't eat too much fatty things. These are not haram as such, but when you eat them, then it can become a problem. So we shouldn't only avoid poison, which is haram. We should also avoid things that can become a problem for our health. Okay? So, unfortunately, our generation, I think, is tried by comfort and convenience. If previous generations were tried by difficulties and hardship, our test and calamity or bala is comfort and convenience. Yes. Even now they are thinking of you only think about switching on the light. Then the light is on. You don't need even to press. What are we doing with ourselves? We become, useless creatures that we just keep eating and drinking and doing nothing. So we have to be careful. We have to do everything possible to maintain and increase our strengths. Not only physical strengths, but to mental strengths, spiritual strengths. I wish we had opportunities to take our youths to some camps, but not as holidays, for hardship. This is a camp that you will reduce your food. This is the camp you reduce your sleep. This is the camp that you do some physical activities. Yeah, because they have to become strong. In future, those communities who have maintained their willpower, they will be controlling over other, people. What's the difference between us and elephant? Elephant seems bigger than us and stronger than us. The difference is our willpower. In future, I am worried that we might become elephants without willpower. And then some other people can control us. They feed us properly, and then they tell us what to do. So we have to be very careful. So, he says, this Maʿrifah, which is called Iman, is al-yaqeen بكون الشهوة عدوا قاطعا لطريق الله تعالى. Shahwa is an enemy which is like a thief which attacks you when you are traveling towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you know this, then the motive for religion becomes strong. And when it becomes strong, تمت الأفعال على خلاف ما تتقاضاه الشهوة. Then you can do actions which are against what your shahwa wants. As a student, you want to study. You know that you have to have many hours of study during the night. But you also like a delicious food. Say, okay, we just finished our lessons. Let's go to a restaurant, have a delicious food, and then I study. Not remembering that all the nights that you had heavy food, after that you became sleepy and you couldn't study. But if you resist against shahwa, you do your study, you do your mubahisa, you do also some cleaning, you make, your room, your madrasa, everything clean, you make a phone call speak to your parents, you do lots of things because you are able to say no to your shahwa. If you say yes to shahwa, then all those actions become impossible. So, إذا قوي ثباته تمت الأفعال على خلاف ما تتقاضاه الشهوة. Then those actions which are against the desire of appetite would be possible. فلا يتم ترك الشهوة إلا بقوة باعث الدين المضاد لباعث الشهوة. So it's not possible to refrain from shahawat unless the motive for religion becomes strong, which is against the motive for shahwa. وقوة المعرفة والإيمان تقبح مغبة الشهوات وسوء عاقبتها. If you have a strong ma'rifah and strong iman, you understand how ugly it is to go after shahawat. The problem with shahawat is that they blind us. When I really want to do something, unfortunately, you can, check this. When you really want to do something, you are not objective in assessment. Yeah? If you want to really buy this, for example, car, or this, for example, food, or this sweet, if you have desire, then you would no longer be an objective judge or observer. You bring lots of arguments that I must do this. This is a problem. When we are, attracted to something, aql becomes, unfortunately, a captive, cannot help us. So it's very important to be able to have that yaqeen that makes it crystal clear that following shahawat would not take us anywhere. Who is able to follow just shahawat and become successful? It's not possible. Especially if you want to be successful in becoming a true human being. If you want to be successful in being knowledgeable, if you want to be pious, if you want to be close servant of Allah, you cannot just go after shahawat. Okay, I stop here. So we are middle of page 111. Middle of page 111. I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
This the doctor.
Pardon?
Which part? What part?
Volume 7.
No, I mean, I think it is sixth part. No, juzr.
7.
7 juzr.
No, there are 8 sections. In
8 sections.
this is 7.
This section.
Volume 7, page 111.
Thank you.
We pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to help us in this battle, to strengthen our willpower and give us determination and insight to understand what is good for us so that we do it, and what is bad for us so that we avoid it. And we ask Allah inshallah to give us brothers and sisters that in this path inshallah we can help each other and inspire each other and empower each other. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin.
Sheikh, what about if I had any food in my house?